Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Salty Sweet Games. I am the aforementioned Salty.
And I'm Sweet.
And these various assorted spices are our friends. Welcome to Strange Invasion, Assault on the Barrier Peaks. Before we go around and meet everyone and their awesome characters, we're going to do a bit of channel stuff, Kienna.
Channel stuff. Oh, it's me.
Yeah.
I'm talking now.
Yep, you're
cool.
talking now.
Cool. Definitely was prepared for this. Channel stuff. First of all, I'd like to give a shout out to our wonderful friends over at Roll20.
Roll20.
We are part of their Spotlight program. They are wonderful people. They help bring gamers together to play virtual tabletop, no matter what distance apart they are. So go help, say hi to them. We love them. All that good stuff. Also, we have ways to support the channel here on Salty Sweet Games. We have merch over on the Redbubble store. We also have subs, and thank you for everyone who had done gift subs this month. It has been a wild month of gift subs. Y'all been so generous, so thank you so much for that. And of course, we have donations down below where you can check that out and you can see how you can affect the game. Help us, please. You know, good things to do.
Help. Please help.
Basically, we pay for everything out of pocket here at Salty Sweet Games. So all of the donations and sub money goes directly to channel upkeep, making sure that we can have the lights on here so we can continue making cool stuff for y'all. That's pretty much our beginning. So we should probably go and see who people are playing. Right? Yes. That's the thing we do, Lauren.
Yes, we do. Should we start with ourselves?
Yes, we should probably start with ourselves.
Excellent. Oh, well, after you, Kienna.
Oh, okay, cool, fine, I guess. Hi, I'm Kienna. I use she, they pronouns, and I am playing Ardent, who is the Protector Asmar Paladin, Oath of the Crown. Also uses she, they pronouns. This is my first time playing Paladin, so this will be a fun time as we can, you know, combat's definitely the best way to find out how to play your character. We'll go do that.
Right. I am Lauren. Hello. I am playing Dulcinea. Both she and I use she, her pronouns. She's an Eladrin swashbuckler. So I got some one attack, got some sneak attack, got some weird phase shit. And I'm excited. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna stab things. Can't wait. I love stabbing things. Move on from me before I sound too weird. Yes. Jim, hi.
Fuck.
Hello. How are you doing?
No, we don't want to talk, Jim. Don't be courteous.
Okay, fine. I'll say a thing. In that case, hello. I'm Jim. Most of the time. I use he, him pronouns, and I am today playing Devlin Archon, Angry Dirt Wizard.
Incredible. I love it so much. And Gnome!
Hi! Again!
Hello.
This is gonna be 3 days in a row.
I know. Special week.
Right? Hi, my name is Gnome, and I'm going to be playing Idoso Farleaf, the halfling ranger rogue. I forget that he's also a rogue.
Excellent. And finally, last but certainly not least, our dungeon master, Allyson.
Hey everybody, it's Allyson. I am your dungeon master this evening, and we have some things to take care of. I want to jump right into that, but before I do, I want to remind our players and all of you that tonight and in every game that we play here at Salty Sweet Games, we use safety tools like lines and veils and X, N, and O cards to ensure that everyone has a super fun time. Now, it's worth noting that our characters are probably going to experience some things that will haunt their nightmares for years to come. But we don't want that to happen for our players. For that reason, we use all of these things, as well as content warnings. You can see the content warnings at any time by typing !CW in chat. The content warnings for tonight's episode are violence, cosmic horror, and possible NPC death. Of course, I suppose PC death is always a possibility. We'll just set that there for now. And so without further ado, let's return to Ethraean, let's return to Kedron's Crag in episode 2 of Strange Invasion, Assault on the Barrier Peaks. Last time we found ourselves in this world of Ethraean, a cold, gray, and dirty world, struggling to recover from a terrible war a century in its past. From a planar portal high in the Barrier Peaks, an enemy known then only as the Demon King unleashed hordes of invading fiends on what had once been a diverse, prosperous, and peaceful world. Only a last-ditch effort by the Hearth Wardens, users of magic of many cultures and races who had banded together for the single purpose of saving this world, was able to force the portal shut. But at great cost. Nearly every Hearth Warden was lost in the effort, either consumed by the powerful arcane ritual that closed the portal, or banished to some distant, nigh inescapable plane. Peace settled on the world. Again, generations came, walked their time, and departed. But recently, a rash of mysterious and deadly raids have struck the lands beneath the soaring Barrier Peaks once again. The few who have survived these attacks tell strange stories. Knights in weird armor, wielding powerful magic in some strange tongue. Ravenous beasts unlike any heretofore known, impervious to sword and spell alike. In taverns, at supper tables, banqueting halls across the realms, the same question is being whispered. Are these raids a portent to a new invasion? To answer that question, Lady Barrelhelm of Kedron's Crag sent forth a summons. In response, some of the bravest warriors, wisest sages, most cunning scouts and spies came to defend this world once again. Among them, Ardent, the Aasimar defender of the crown, capital of Zronthus. Devlin Archon, dwarven wizard, one of the last surviving veterans of the first planar incursion. Dulcinea, Eladrin mountebank and escape artist. And Idoso Farleaf, a young halfling explorer who walks the far plains of the multiverse. The evening that they gathered together in the banquet hall of the Kedron's Crag for a regale of welcome, and they were introduced to others who had also answered the call. Captain Rico Dorthan, commander of the Isranthan City Guard, Ardent's former comrade in arms. Aranok Ladinian, captain of the mercenary company known as the Grey Battalion. Cherry Redding, a noble of the ruling family of the city of Mantigar, suspected by many to be a spy. And Cithriel Fencaran, a moon elf planewalker with a fawning admiration for young Idoso. After the meal, Lady Barrelhelm excused the house staff and introduced them to their quest. They would take a reconnaissance in two parties up into the mountains to find the source of these strange attacks. And then, pulling back a curtain, revealed to them some of what had been discovered inside what appeared to be a glass box, 10 feet on a side. A strange, terrible-looking creature frozen in some kind of stasis. It looked like a great cat, but it was the size of a pony. 6 legs instead of 4, 2 black tentacles up over its shoulders, reaching forward, glowing eyes as though it were still alive. And there on the bottom of the container beneath it, 3 others like it, only smaller. Young, perhaps? And then, as if a wind blew through the place in a moment, all of the lights were extinguished. There was a beat, a light returned, and our heroes looked to see whatever had been in the container was gone. And this is where we will begin our adventure this evening. I'd like to ask each of you players a question, and Kienna, I'll start with you. What would Ardent normally do in a moment like this at the first sign of danger? Is there anything that they would immediately, instinctively do to prepare for whatever might be next?
Divine sense.
Okay. Is that
they already
Go
knew
ahead.
that thing was evil in the box.
Yes.
And if it's gone, that's the first instinct.
Okay. And remind us, what would Divine Sense tell you, if anything?
Divine sense specifically tells me detect good and evil. I can sense anything affected by the hollow spell or know the location of any celestial fiend undead within 60 feet that is not behind total cover.
Okay, very good. Then what I will share with you, what you notice in this moment, is that you detect the strong and clear presence of evil. You didn't detect it before. It may very well be that what was keeping the thing in stasis was blocking your sense, or it may simply be that it was not conscious in that moment. But now, it clearly is. It's nearby. I don't think that Divine Sense gives you location. I think it does for those specific creatures, but this doesn't fit the bill.
Okay.
So that's what you know. Jim, what about Devlin? What might Devlin do in that split second, instinctively, to prepare himself for whatever might be coming?
Well, the first thing that comes to Jim's mind, is if he's is mage armor, but I know he's probably going to want to. He's probably going to want to actually see if he can figure out what this thing is, and so his curiosity might overcome that for a split second if he's trying to think about it.
Yeah, sure. Why don't we make this a survival roll? Can you make a survival roll for me?
I shall endeavor to do so. I shall press this thing and see what happens.
Oh my gosh.
Lovely.
That's a very high number.
What a lovely way to start the evening. Well, it needed to be a very high number. Here's what Devlin knows. This creature is one whose existence has only been rumored, to your knowledge, on any plane of existence in this world. It has never been seen in Ethraean, even during the previous planar incursion. You know that it is. It's referred to by many different names. Where there is consensus, it seems to fall around the name Displacer or Displacement Beast. And you know that the reason for that is that it is capable of some kind of phase shift that makes it very, very difficult to know its precise location in space. And you also know that you are almost certainly the only person in this room who knows any of those things.
Okay.
All of it's all rumor and hearsay.
Yeah.
But the one thing upon which it all agrees is that they are deadly.
Gotcha.
Gnome, how about Idoso? In the split second before all hell breaks loose, what might he do to prepare himself?
I feel like Idoso's been in situations like this before. Just not quite this particular one, but just dangerous moments where, like, I don't know, the planes decide to shift and he's hurled somewhere else. And I think instinctually he's just gotten the habit of casting protection from evil and good on himself. And so, you know, he just kind of like reaches up to his vest and kind of like touches one of the little, you know, like a piece of bone trinket, and the spell will kind of cast, and the magic from it, it almost at first just doesn't do anything. But if you kind of were to really pay attention, and even just like maybe in that split second of the darkness, there's this just like kind of pearlescent shimmer that just kind of moves around him. And that's where he casts the spell.
Beautiful. And Dulcinea?
So, Dulcie has kind of a natural glow about her because of her Eladrin ancestry. So, when everything goes dark and, you know, we see that the creature has disappeared, her first instinct is to pull up the hood of her cloak. And when she pulls it up, that glow that she has immediately is dampened by the magic of the cloak, and she blends more into the shadows.
Very good. Very good. Then, as all of those things occur in that moment between light and darkness and light, a light appears in close to the center of the room. You see that it is centered upon Devlin's dear friend, who's the lore master for Lady Barrowhelm. Has cast a light cantrip and appears to be holding a ball of light in his hand, but it's very dim compared to what was here before. It is so dim, in fact, that out into the corners of this room, which is about 80 feet square, it's still pitch black and darkness for those that do not have dark vision. And as a reminder, which of our heroes possess dark vision? All but Idoso. Okay, very good. Then I think we are about ready to begin. And what I'd like to do as this action begins then is to ask all of the players to roll a d20 for me, please. Just a straight d20.
Straight
for me.
d20?
Yep.
Right too.
Well, glad that was an initiative.
This is I asked for this because in our last session, Mike from Umnate Gaming was very kind and generous and donated for 2 alien artifacts to be given to our players. And so what I will share with you for Idoso and for Devlin, as the lights come back up, those are my two, or not Devlin, and Ardent, forgive me, for Ardent and Idoso, the 2 high rolls. In that moment, as the lights come back up and everyone is trying to get their bearing, you notice that on another smaller table near to where this container of glass or gel or whatever it is was placed, there's a small table near that, and laid out on it, arrayed on it, were a number of different things that presumably Lady Barrowhelm was going to go on to describe to you. There are what appear to be large pieces of metal or bone that could very well be pieces of some kind of wreckage for all that you know, but among them, you notice two different things. The first is a rod that is about the same size and roughly the same shape of a femur bone, the long bone in the top of a humanoid leg. It looks kind of like bone, in fact, except part of it is covered with a black metal, and there are oddly shaped red and yellow nodules on one end, like the ball end where the ball joint would be. On the other end, you notice it almost looks like a series of grooves that would probably make a comfortable handhold. That's one thing you see. The other thing you see here that doesn't appear to be just trash or wreckage looks like a pendant. It's actually tied to some kind of leather thong. It's big though. It's about 4 inches in length, and it's made up of a yellow or gold-colored crystal that's wrapped in odd and uneven ways in what look like brass or bronze or gold wires, perhaps. And you see those two things sitting there. You just happen to be the two closest people to the table where those things are sitting as everything begins. And now, roll initiative.
Okay, I have advantage on initiative checks because of my rapier of warning. Nice.
Very good.
Ardent. Let's see if that does anything. 17.
Very nice. Wow, very good rolls. Okay. So let me make a few rolls myself. That is a lot of rolls, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay, good. So let me we'll quickly work out the order of combat here. Ardent, it looks like you have our top roll, followed by Devlin.
Then Dulcie.
Yep. Then Dulcie.
Then whatever rolled that 11.
Yes.
Then whatever rolled that 10.
Yep.
Then,
Okay, and then I've got the rest.
Okay.
Good. All right then. Ardent, you're up.
Cool. So fun fact about presenting these objects to Ardent is that Ardent is a paladin. And it's not someone who's just like, yes, let me just take this. We'll see how that happens in a bit. But I think Ardent's gonna activate their angel thing. I don't remember what the name of it's called anymore.
Angel thing. It's totally right.
My angel thing that I
Definitely
can do.
the technical term.
Yeah.
Wow, what is it called? Radiant Soul. Thank you. There we go. Yeah, I'm gonna activate Radiant Soul, where I will transform into my angel form. Because I can do that.
Yeah. What does that look like?
So we already know that Ardent had 4 eyes, right? And we've seen one of them pop up as well every time that they use Divine Sense. But now you just see all across their skin, almost as if in a wave, you see more and more eyes open up. All of them kind of faintly glowing this white-blue light. At the same time, you kind of hear a small cracking noise as 2 wings start to sprout from 2 very strategically placed slits in their armor. as you just watch these white wings unfurl, 4 of them, 2 large ones and then 2 smaller ones attached to them. And now they're bathed in this bright, glowing light, providing another source of light here. As they will crouch and then rocket into the air. For 30 feet of flying movement.
Brilliant. That will take you all the way to the ceiling of this space. It's 25 feet up to the ceiling of this banqueting hall.
Yep. Definitely
go ahead.
just staying up there, ready to move, do whatever else, but they are just prepping, basically.
Yeah. As you rocket up to the ceiling of this room and begin to turn and take in what you can see in just these first few moments, why don't you roll perception for me?
Cool. Perception. Natural 20. This is a nice
Lovely.
change of pace. Roll 20. Thank you.
Indeed. I mean, nice from a certain point of view, I suppose. Yes. So as you do, where you had been led for this very dramatic unveiling that has now gone terribly wrong, was off to sort of the far left side of this room. It was behind curtains that were pulled back. And now, as you rocket up, you notice that creature that you initially saw in the containment has kind of moved very, very swiftly, because it's already there by the time you get to the ceiling, off into the corner of this room that is kind of nearest to where that box was. It's moved about 40 feet in what would appear to be the blink of an eye. You, with a critical success here, you can also see that that there's a table that's relatively close, kind of up against the wall, not in the corner, but between the box, the containment, and the corner. And you can see what appears to be the signs of those 3 smaller creatures, those 3 kits that are kind of hiding or crouched up under that table. For almost everyone, at least initially, that would be practically impossible to see because of the darkness and the cover, but you catch a little bit of movement there that tells you where they are.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, and Ardent will draw out their sword at this point. This large, oddly dark-colored sword for the rest of the kind of blues and silvers that they're wearing. This is almost obsidian color, and will point in that direction, gesturing to where they spot the creature.
Everyone else in the room, the gesture is more than they needed by the light of Ardent's sort of glory in this moment. It's made at least those corners of the room much clearer and easier to see. And so we'll say at this point that you're all able to see the displacer beast itself. If you'd like, when we get to your turns, we can roll perception to see if you see the kittens. Okay, good. Anything else?
Nope, that's about it that I can do.
Devlin. What does Devlin do?
Well, seeing this thing, I'm going to basically holding up my staff. I'm just looking and say, "Ready yourselves. They can disappear and reappear anywhere." And I mutter something as I am tapping my chest in a couple of places, And I am casting Mage Armor. For the purpose of not dying, hopefully. So I'll go ahead and throw that in the thing, and I'll press this button to cast.
Very good. Thank you. Very good.
And so I don't think with Devlin's magic, I don't think it's very obvious, because I think over time we've sort of learned that it's not a good idea to do a lot of obvious magic. Some of the things are going to look, they're going to see it, but this, I don't think there's any visible like special effects when this happens. It's just they see him muttering and doing something.
Yeah. Good. Anything else? Any movement that you'd like to make?
I think that I'm going to stick near. I'm probably going to stick near to near to the others, just to try to help defend them if need be.
Okay. Very good.
Whatever cluster we're in.
Good. Yeah, as all of this occurred, we were in 2 different clusters. Your group was in one. The other 4 of the other reconnaissance party were in another, and in between we had Lady Barrelhelm and her lore master, the one who is now holding the light. Good.
Okay. Now I'm going to trust that I'm going to trust that Kareth, the lore master, is they're going to be able to do what they can to try to help protect Barrelhelm. So I'm going to try to stick to my cluster, my group's cluster, if I can. Well, we've been grouped with them. May as well start working with them now.
Very good. Dulcie. What does Dulcie do?
So we can see the main displacer beast.
You can. It's in a corner with its back backed into the corner. Its legs are splayed out. Those tentacles are up and now over, reaching out in front of its body, and as the light level in the room rose with Ardent rising, it looks back toward the group of you, and it makes this sort of low, is it a purr, is it a growl? It's sort of a...
So, would you say it looks aggressive?
I would, yes. Yes, it most certainly
Okay.
looks aggressive.
I also think Dulcie's been in a performance area where they work with animals, so even though it's odd, if it's cat-like, I think she can tell if this is kind of defensive or aggressive, and if it's aggressive, okay. And it's weird, and... Okay, how far away is it?
It's about 40 feet from where you're standing right now.
40? 40.
40.
Okay. I will move 20 feet closer to it. And I'm going to... I'm gonna throw a dagger at it. Is that okay? Are we all okay with that? Great. No.
Very good.
No, you know what? First though, I'm a hide. So I'm gonna try to get closer to it while scooching along the walls or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want to hide first.
There are 4 massive pillars that hold the ceiling of this room up, arrayed. The room itself is square. It's about 80 feet on a side. These 4 pillars are arrayed in a square that could potentially separate the middle of the room off. This is how this reveal area was sort of curtained away. Mm-hmm. So you could probably hide around one of those pillars if you like, the one that's between you and the creature.
Great. I have advantage on stealth checks.
Of course you do.
17.
Nice.
Yeah, so Dulcie ducks behind one of these pillars and is just going to like peek out around the side and throw one of her daggers at it. I don't think it's near anything. Do I have advantage because I'm hiding? Did I hide well enough?
Yes, you did.
Okay, yes. Aha! Okay, let's do this then. Advantage. So there's a 15 and an 18.
Yes, that is a hit.
Excellent.
Very
yeah.
nice. Now, okay, so you I'm just trying to work this out. So you had advantage because of the
Because I was hiding.
because you were hiding. I'm just trying to work out the damage here.
13.
Tell you what. Yep. Got it. Okay. So you're from behind the pillar. You edge out. You can see that its attention is diverted from you. It's in fact looking up at the light from Ardent. And your dagger wheels across the space between you and it and strikes it in the haunches. And as soon as it strikes, it lets out a yowl that it's like a scream, and its eyes spin back toward you.
All right, I duck back behind the pillar and I unsheath my rapier at this point and grab another dagger from my other boot.
And what the rest of you see as this happens with the dagger strike is that the creature itself appears almost to it's like it blinks out of space there in the corner where it was, and in the same moment reappears about 8 feet away, just up the wall, a little bit closer to that table where Ardent saw the kits hiding. Okay. And it just appears to have completely shifted location at that point. Anything else, Dulcie?
Nope.
All right, then. It is the Displacer Beast's movement, and it takes 1, 2, maybe 3 kind of tentative steps forward toward where the attack came from, and then it leaps. And Dulcie, this is an attack on you. That would be a 17.
Hits.
17 hit? Yes. Alrighty. Well. So as it leaps, it's the first thing that sort of that get to where you are these 2 black tentacles, and they look like they have sort of triangular shaped pads on the end of them, and are they some kind of suckers on them, or are they sharp? It's hard to say. It's harder to say still when they hit you. But they do hit, and you, my dear, take 7 points of damage from that hit.
I will
go ahead.
Uncanny dodge that.
Remind us how uncanny dodge works for a mountebank such as yourself.
Yes, I will once I remember how it works. Haha. When an attacker that you can see hits you with an attack, you can use reaction to have the attacker's damage against you. So I think she just sees these things coming at her, and at the last second pulls away, and it just ends up like swiping.
Yes. Very good. So she manages to jump away as the tentacles are coming together to strike one of them. Only one of them strikes you. It catches you across the thigh, I think, as you're jumping away, and it's already repositioning itself for its second attack. But I would assume that a 7 does not hit you.
Nope.
It snarls, and its head, the size of a pony's head, it just broad reaches out at you and snaps at you. But you're able to roll away quickly, and it's now a bit more exposed than it was out closer to the center of the room. Nice. And at this point, we have, let me do a little more. Okay. So for everyone other than Ardent at this point, you hear an even louder, a higher pitched set of growls, and out from under that table it's a ball of black fur and tentacles and claws, and all 3 of these kittens are following their mother and kind of leaping into the attack here. And so I'm sorry, is that perturb you? So Dulcie, you are one of them is attacking you here again as well, and so let me just do that properly this time. There we go. How about that? The 23 hits you, I think. Yes.
Allyson, my armor class is 16.
For one damage, it sort of leaps out and it rolls, and its tentacle grabs at you. You're able to avoid it for the most part, but an additional point of damage there. Idoso, these other 2 are seem to be kind of jumping out and leaping toward you. And so let's...
Are they... spell I just cast. The thing I did. Are they aberrations, celestials, elementals, fae, fiends, or undead?
They are not. They are monstrosities.
Okay.
Mechanically speaking. So the 18, I'm assuming, is a hit here. Yes. On Idoso?
Yes. Yeah, I'm just, it's not popping up on the...
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yes, 18.
So they are, they're very uncoordinated, but they're leaping out along with the others. They but are not able to really connect with you to cause a great deal of damage. Again, you just feel that tentacle swipe across your arm, and it tears through your clothing and cuts you.
How much damage was that?
Just one piercing.
Right, does anybody have a way to contain these again? They're over here.
Yeah, the others, the other adventurers who had gathered, Lady Bronwyn and so forth, are kind of moved into a half circle, hoping, without a whole lot of coordination, to try to keep these things from getting out further into the room. As as they do, you hear the one that you heard referred to as Aranok, who's the dwarvish mercenary leader. He's drawn a bastard sword that he's holding up, and he shouts back. Something. Let's see. What does he say? He says, "No, they'd be best killed than put back in the box."
If you can get them back into the box, I can probably reseal it, but I don't know if that'll hold them or not.
Lady Barrelhelm, at this point, says, "That's a great strategy, Hearthwarden. You're welcome to try."
Any idea what might attract these things?
At this point, it is in terms of our combat, it is Raiko's turn, and so he also has a great sword drawn and is moving forward to attack the mother, and trying to position himself between it and Dulcie, where you've been standing. He swings at it, but his swing goes wide, and it jumps back and snarls at him now. It begins kind of pacing to try to get out from this semicircle that you all are forming around it. And of the others, it's you see that that the one that you heard referred to as Cherry Redding, you don't see her anywhere. You're not sure where she's gone. It's hard to imagine that she's left the room, but you don't see her anywhere. If you'd like to track her down.
My passive perception of 17 doesn't see her anywhere?
No, let's say for now that it doesn't, and we'll see what happens on your next round. Sithrel, the moon elf who took such a shine to you, Idoso, has come out from somewhere with 2 hand crossbows that she's dual wielding, and she's going to take a couple of shots here at the kits that were attacking Idoso. So let's see what we get. Yeah, she misses with both shots, but doesn't move. She's trying to sort of hold position. And last here in our order is Lady Bronwyn. She has drawn her great sword as well, but is holding position in the middle of the semicircle, and she's holding her attack. And that takes us back to the top of the round. What? Ardent. Oh, go ahead.
Can I have
Idoso, did I? I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Yes.
Totally okay.
I suppose you can have a turn.
Yay! All right, so before all of the crazy the hootenanny happened, right? Yeah, I know Ardent might be a paladin, but you know who's not a paladin? Ya boy! So that little tiny 4-inch shiny looking little pendant just would look really stellar on this one spot on his jacket. So I think as he's just kind of moving through the crowd, right? It's just not there anymore. I don't know what happened to it. Then he gets hit, right?
Yes.
But he's not attacking. There's like I think he's gonna shout. You're all going to be better off if you get your arms and legs cut off by these things. Stop trying to hurt them. Just grab the kids, put them away. Mama's gonna come. She just wants her wine. And the one at least that attacked him because they're pretty big for the babies, right? For Wayne.
Yeah, they are. They're the size of a pretty big dog.
Yeah, great. So about the same size as Idoso, and he's just gonna no weapons, no nothing, just try to grapple, just try to wrestle with one. I mean, it's like a wild cat, right? He's totally gone toe to toe with a tiger before. Maybe, I don't know. That's what legend says. So, yeah. With his -1 strength, he would like to grapple.
All right. Let's do this thing. Go for it. And don't forget that there are still some advantages floating around as well. I just want to remind you that that's a thing that exists.
Oh my god, how do I roll? Just a plain old, just strength, right?
Yeah.
Or athletics?
Yes. Yeah.
Strength.
Yeah. Tell you what, you can. Yeah, that.
Oh, not bad though for a -1.
Not bad at all, but unfortunately doesn't beat the critical success of the kit. You reach out to grab it, and in fact you all the way through the action you feel like this is it. This was I'm gonna have this thing in my arms. We're going to lead them and use them to lead the mother. And then your arms close together around nothing. It's just not there. And it's the strangest sensation, even for a planewalker, someone who is accustomed to strange sensations. Everything that your eyes and your brain is telling you is that you should have this thing in your arms, but it's not there. You're holding nothing but air.
Slippery fellas.
And that takes us back to the top of our round, and Ardent, our eyes in the sky.
Cool. So, one kitten disappeared somewhere. A couple of others. Mom is dealing with, of course I forget how I pronounce his name.
Ryko.
My brain went, nope. Don't remember canon pronunciations. Does canon exist? Nope. Right. It's dealing with Ryko and Dulcie, correct?
That's right.
Okay.
And the only thing I would say is that from your vantage point, the one that Idoso grabbed for hasn't disappeared. It's right there. In fact, it almost looks like it's occupying the exact same space that he is. It's like it glitches in some way. It's half in him and half out of him. But he's definitely not holding it.
Interesting. Okay.
From the right angle, he looks like a centaur.
An adorable murder centaur.
Adorable murder centaur. What about the other two?
They're relatively nearby. They're clustered together. The three kits are.
Okay. Considering that Ardent heard Idoso, and there's shit happening with the mom. She doesn't really want to get in there yet. She's gonna swoop down and try to scoop up a bundle of murder.
Wonderful. Let's do a strength check here. It's a grapple check, and let me get this right this time. Let's do it at disadvantage.
Okay. Oh wow. Okay. Cool.
Okay, and just for Ardent, you swoop down, and everyone in the room, you can hear the sound of wind as it sweeps through, underneath Ardent's wings. you reach out, and just like Idoso, it seems to you as though it should be right there in your hands, and your hands pass right through it. And you kind of swoop back up and right yourself, and turn, and it's right there. You just, for some reason, it just slipped through your fingers.
Well, I think I'm actually going to land at this point and kind of place myself within 5 feet of Idoso, in preparation for an attack.
Great. Devlin.
All right. I've had a thought. Is there any meat on these tables?
Yes, there is. There's still all of the banqueting trays are still out.
Right. I'm just gonna be like, oh hell, and I'm gonna reach over and I'm gonna grab like some just like a handful of something, some sliced roast beast, and I'm just sort of like coming forward, clearly afraid, and just like it's like having that what the hell am I doing look on my face. I start I'm gonna step out, start heading in the direction of the cage. I'm just sort of looking and seeing if I see any of the kittens. And I'm gonna wave the meat at them to try to get them to sort of follow. I'm basically trying to sort of lay a little path up to and into the cage, sort of, but with the meat. But I'm just sort of, yeah, here you go. Come on, it's good meat. And just kind of edging my way, trying to bring them closer to the cage and try to kind of see if I can get them. Hopefully, there's a way to get them into it.
Yeah. You can see very clearly where they are. They are at this point about 15 feet away from that shimmering box on the metallic base that that contained them to begin with. When you get to, or did you say that you were going to try to sort of lay some of it up into the box?
I'm laying a little path and then putting some in the box. A little bit more in the box, but I'm just trying to kind of sort of guide them, sort of like, yeah. When you get up to the box and you're about to sort of pass the hunk of meat that you have left through to lay it down on the floor, your hand just it bumps into it's like there's a glass wall there, except it's not glass. It's a bit shimmery, right? It feels like an encounter that you once had a long time ago with a gelatinous cube that almost didn't go very well at all. You remember that feeling of that sort of jelly-like substance, and it almost feels like that, except you can't really force your hand into it. Interesting. Okay. Is there
whatever
a lid?
Opened is no longer open.
Great.
There are a couple of kind of gold-colored protrusions up by one corner of on the base, on that metallic base.
Okay. I'm gonna kind of look at the protrusions. I'm gonna try to see if I can figure out how to open the thing.
Okay. How about an intelligence check? Unless you've got a better idea, that's what I
have Arcana. I don't know if that's going to help at all. That's the only.
I don't think so.
Might come anywhere close. Okay, intelligence, go. That's not a lot.
All right. So as you begin to maneuver those these protrusions, you can see that the surface of that gel or whatever it is begins to shimmer a bit, you're beginning to notice a pattern. You think that if you continue working with it for a little while, you might be able to figure out how to make it permeable again.
All right. Oh, is there like a distortion between like the outside and you're looking in? Is there like a thing that'll sort of, how do I put this? When you're looking from the outside to the inside, does it look, is it like waving a bit to like the wall, so it looks like there's a, you're not seeing exactly where a thing is, but you can see inside, that kind of deal?
Maybe. To use a metaphor that Devlin wouldn't know, it's like looking through a Jell-O mold.
Good, because my next thought is to kind of dangle the meat try to have it position it on the other side so that if they're looking, it'll look like it's inside the box. So I don't have to waste time trying to open this damn thing.
Yeah.
So it's like a slight distortion. I don't know if that's going to do anything, but that's the next attempt.
Yep, you could do that. You could get around on the other side of it from where the creatures are, and
yeah, basically trying to trick them into thinking that the rest of the meat's in the box, even though it's not actually in the box.
Okay. I like this. I like this so much. Let's see what happens with this. Okay. Yeah. Good. So what you notice at this point is that you seem to have attracted the attention of at least two of them. Okay. Anything else?
I think I feel like that would take up everything, all of my actions at this point. Yeah.
Dulcie.
So, looking over and seeing what Devlin's up to, she calls out, "I'll do you one better!" And I'm going to... I don't know if I want to disengage or not, but my intention is to kind of swipe, not intending to hit the mama, like swipe at her and get her to follow me. I want to goad her toward the box.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's see, what kind of... I want to make you do an animal handling roll for this.
That's rude.
Yeah.
But I'll do it.
Well, I'm open to suggestions.
I mean, I was gonna say like deception.
Okay, I'll take that. Yeah, let's give it. Let's try deception and see what happens.
I'm gonna use one of my advantages anyway because I don't trust anything. Boy, 12.
Okay.
Cannot for the life of me roll tonight.
It, as you do, its eyes are tracking with you. And it seems as though it might be about to follow. But at this point, Aranok yells a bit. Maybe he thinks it's going to take a leap at you, and so he's trying to distract it from doing so, and it turns its attention back to him.
Aw, you suck! As a bonus action, can I throw my knife at it then?
As a bonus action, can you do that?
I don't know if you can throw... I don't know. Don't ask me.
I don't think so.
Okay,
I don't
fine.
think so. I think as an attack, for an attack, that would be an action.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Any movement?
No, I go,
actions.
can I... As I've moved kind of like on the table at this point, can I see the golden things?
Yes.
I mean, I'm here. Can I try to figure out what's going on with this if I'm backing into something that's not supposed to be there?
Yeah, you can do that. If you're going to try to manipulate the knobs or the rings.
Yeah.
Okay, let's have you make that intelligence check then.
Could it be investigation?
Yeah, sure.
Cool. I'll use my other advantage. Let's just get rid of them. 23.
Nice. Okay. So as you do, you are able to you hear there's almost a sound in the air that you maybe didn't hear before, but now that it's gone, you hear it. You hear that it was missing, and at that moment, you and Devlin both notice that shimmer that looks sort of like Jello has gone completely clear.
Excellent. I kind of turn over my shoulder and wink at Devlin and kind of step into the box. Or the box.
Yeah. You're muted, Jim.
Can I drop the meat in there, or do I need to take an action to do that?
At this point, you're sort of just waving it right there.
Okay,
So yeah, you can just drop it right in.
Just be like, shrug. Okay.
Yeah. Good. All right. So we now have the mother, who, having devoted her full attention to Aranok, is going to give him the full benefit of that attention. She growls and leaps toward him, those tentacles again coming around, trying to encircle him, to draw him in. And one of the tentacles makes contact hard with his back. He is able to kind of move out from underneath it, so he avoids the bite that was coming and sort of just ends up biting at thin air. But you see, you can see along the side of his shoulder and his neck, it has drawn blood and a great deal of it on his right side. And now let's bring you in where I should have brought you in the first round had I not forgotten.
I could go last, it's fine. It's no big deal, because he's not shooting a damn thing here. Absolutely. Yeah. He has no weapons drawn. This is not going to happen.
Well, he does have that pendant. Other than just pocketing it, last I heard. Other than just pocketing it, have you done anything with it? Have you examined it at all, or just?
No, it just went. I mean, it might have gone into the pocket. Maybe.
Got it. Okay. Then how would you like to act?
Yeah, I don't. So we're hurting. We're wrangling. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, he doesn't have any spells that would make a loud noise. He doesn't have anything. I guess he's gonna just try to push the one kit that's engaged. Mine is I don't know, Ardent, you're right there. Let's just kind of put our bodies together and hurt it. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's it. That's what he's gonna do. I don't know. Look, he's gonna push. His whole turn is gonna be to try to move this kitten.
Yeah. Let's, Animal handling does not get used enough in this game, as far as I'm concerned. It's something I've been deeply concerned about for a long time.
Oh, please let me animal handle this.
Please do.
I'm gonna roll a 1. Just because I was cocky with that. That's just how this is going.
Oh my god.
All right.
Nailed it.
I feel like I should give you this success just because you called your shot. That's
a plus 10, right? That's a focused attack.
That's a beautiful, beautiful thing.
Babe Ruth moment right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was tap the heels, tap the plate, made a cocky gesture at the pitcher, pointed right back there, center field.
Woof.
Through the bat.
Nice. The fact is you don't have its attention any longer because Ardent, the shining light that they are, is right there, and they are these kids are just laser focused on that light. So they're not going to be pushed. They're not going to be distracted. They're very, very interested in what they see there. Our other heroes have some other heroes are acting. Aranok is having just been attacked, is attacking the mother with his sword, and does in fact connect. It's connects with its front leg, and the sound that it makes when it's hit is terrifying. It sends shivers down your spine. And Cythril is attacking with her crossbows again as well.
At the mother or the kid?
Yeah, she shifted her attack toward the mother. And she also hits and connects. Good. Lady Bronwyn yells out and is focusing at Aranok, and she yells at him, "Get back! They're trying to lure it back into the box." And he looks at her, and just with anger in his eyes. She is kind of moving forward as well, with her sword drawn, trying to assist in angling this mother back toward the box that Dulcie is now in. And Raiko, for his part, is moving forward as well. He seems to be trying to contribute to this same cause. Okay. And that's going to end our round here as well. We'll come back to you, Ardent.
Cool. I remember the thing that Ardent can do. Ardent is gonna cast Compel Duel with the mom.
Very nice.
So that she will basically the creature that I can see within range must make a wisdom saving throw. On the failed save, the creature is drawn to me, compelled by my divine demand. And basically, if it fails, its entire focus is on me, and will have disadvantage on attack rolls against anything else, and will want to stay within 30 feet of me.
What does it look like when you do this, Ardent?
I think you see, so she points that sword again towards it, and she just says, "Eyes on me." And you see the sword kind of glow, and there's it's almost like it's creating this like focus point. And you'll see that same kind of light that's coming off of them start to seep into this placer's eyes.
Yeah. As you speak, its head turns very, very slowly to you. And it's now positioning itself to move backward toward the center of this semicircle that you've created. Yeah, good. Anything else?
Well, if it did it make a saving throw?
It did not make it. It failed its
Cool.
saving throw.
Cool. Yeah. So I'm gonna start walking backwards, and it's compelled to keep that 30 feet between us. So.
Right. Okay.
So I am backing up towards the box. I know that the kittens are there. I'm not gonna disengage because I'm focused on keeping Mom on me.
Right. Okay. So our kittens get opportunity attacks as you move away from them. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were telling me. All right.
My armor class is an 18.
Yes, none of those hit. In fact, only one of them even swipes at you at this point. The others are there's a swipe, but it's that kitten swipe. They're not even really interested in connecting.
I'm basically a laser toy.
Yes,
That's essentially what's happening here.
that's right. And you have all of their attention.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. So Devlin.
Can I prepare an action? Is that a thing in this
Yep.
in this edition?
Absolutely.
I can't remember. So I am gonna, as part of, if I may, I will just say, right. The moment the mother's in and the moment you're out, put that rod back where it was. I need it to be closed for this to work. And I start sort of concentrating, and I'm preparing an action. Shall I tell you what the action is? Is that how this works, or do I just lead in? I am going to cast a spell the moment basically, if the mother's back in, the moment the walls go back up.
Yes. Okay. Good. That's great. Dulcie.
So I'm going, as I see Ardent backing up, I'm going to move out of the area and basically hold an action so that when Mama is in there, I mean, hopefully the other kitties will follow soon behind, but the plan is that when Mom's in there to reset the trap.
Yeah. Okay. Good. And so what you see is the mother is taking these very slow padding steps toward you, Ardent, and following as you continue to move backward. The kittens are following as well, and at the rate that you're moving, the mother will move kind of back across the box in the next round. And as we get to the kittens, let's see what the kittens are going to do. And yeah, they are they're following as well. Two of them have clearly noticed that the mother's movement and are moving toward her. The third keeps shifting its attention back between the mother and you and the light, and it just seems to be sort of hesitating there, even to the point that it's now a few feet away from its siblings for the very first time, kind of isolated. Idoso.
I don't know how to make him helpful here. He's not gonna. I mean, so what kits are still out and around then?
All three of them are. Two of them are moving to sort of reunite with the mother. There's a third now that's closer to where Ardent is and is now isolated from the rest.
Okay. Ardent, did you move away from me?
Yes.
To go? Okay. I mean, if it's kind of moving towards the mob, can I try to pick it up again?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe?
Yeah, you can. Are you trying to do that are you trying to sort of reach out and grab it where we would use a grapple, or are you trying to sort of more gently reach down and pick it up where we might use an animal handling, or are you trying to push it along?
You know, instead, may I have Idosa's gonna look at like one of the banquet tables, right? And just grab one of the like metal trays and pull it off, and whatever was on it, it's just gonna go all over the place. Just absolutely doesn't care. He's gonna grab a utensil of some sort and just start banging at it, at the kitten, and just try to scare the kitten in that direction. Just clink, 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 clink.
Yeah.
And he will just chase the thing until it eventually.
I love it. This sounds clearly like an intimidation check to me.
Oh, it does it?
I think so.
It does?
I think you're trying to scare it into going where you want it to go.
Yeah. You know, just on a roll tonight. It's loud. It's really loud.
It is. And the kitten looks up at you and it growls at you in that same really low purring growl that makes your teeth ache a little bit.
Oi, don't be giving me none of that sauce. And it's kind of like, a little final like pink, like right at
Yeah.
it.
That's exactly what it's doing. It's sassing you. Good.
That's not exactly how I thought his night was going to go, or he's going to be sassed by a kitten. Great.
The others are working with you now. They continue to close very carefully to close the circle. Cithrel has reloaded. She's ready to attack if necessary. The others are moving in. And that leads us back to the top. Ardent, if you continue moving in the direction you have been, when we get back to the mother, she'll be in the box.
Gonna keep doing that. Just
Okay.
I raise my eyebrows at Ardent as they pass by me.
Ardent just gives like a small nod. Like an acknowledgement of noticing that what her idea was trying to be, and kind of acknowledging the wordlessly.
Yes. Devlin, you are prepared to cast the spell. Any change? Anything else you're doing here?
No, it's just mostly that I'm just like he's sweating a little bit, but he's sort of as he's watching this, and he's just sort of he's slowly muttering arcane words under his breath, and he's preparing to touch the side of the one of the frame of the box.
Okay.
Just hoping that it goes well.
Okay.
Because he has absolutely no idea if the spell's going to hold them or not. But we'll see what happens.
Dulcie.
So is it going to be my action to kind of lock it into place once they're in it?
Yeah, I think it will. I think you know, in order to make sure that it does what you want it to do.
Mm-hmm. So can I don't know if I can do this as a bonus action, but can I like pick up the meat and try to like distract the lure the last one in? Like,
yeah.
Here, kitty, kitty, kitty. Just the
Yeah.
one that
Yeah, you can do
Idoso's
that.
been having a time with.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, absolutely. There's your animal handling. roll.
Great, I'm so good at that. Can't wait. Let me do it. Not one.
That was great.
Cool. So, I see it has no interest, and I just give up, slap the meat down, and prepare to lock up the box.
All right.
There's just gonna be one
Yeah.
left out.
Yeah. So what we have then are these as her action begins here, the mother places the first tentative steps back into onto that metallic rectangle where it was when you first saw it, and at about that time, the paths of the other two converge. They kind of move up in what looks like a ballet almost. There's all of these legs that are involved here, and they're kind of just right up underneath. They're underneath the mother. That third one, however, is still out in the room. It's not followed along, but is out there in the room. And the moment has arrived.
I close the box.
Okay. Instantly! And I am casting Arcane Lock. So that...
So clever.
That is very clever.
That's so good.
It's a good use
So
of it.
cool.
How many people use that spell?
Yeah. Yeah.
Touch a closed window, door, gate, chest, other entry becomes locked for the duration. Even though the creatures you designate when you cast a spell can open the object normally, which is going to be basically me and it's going to be me and Dulcie, and basically I think that's all he's thinking right now is just him and Dulcie and Ardent. I think that's all that he can fit in his brain right now as he's doing this, as the ones he's designated. And I can also set a password. He's probably not thinking about that. But otherwise it's impassable until it is broken or the spell is dispelled or suppressed.
Yes. So this gives me the opportunity to introduce a mechanic that is unique to the world of Strange Invasion. As we're dealing with the intersection of arcane magic and what is probably come as no surprise to any of you players as alien technology. So what I need for you to do for me, Jim, is I need you to roll a D100 for me.
Oh boy. All right. Should I use... Can I use my advantage on this? Is that going to help at all? He says doing it blind.
If you'd like to, yes, you are welcome to use an advantage here.
I will take the better of whatever these two rolls are. I have no idea which one, whether a better is high or better is
You're
low.
rolling for high. You're rolling low. You want low here.
I want low. Okay. So
Yeah.
here's the first one, and here's the second one.
Very
I'll take
good.
the 39.
Yes. So as you utter the words that create this arcane lock, you feel for a second. It's almost as if the weave of magic shifts for a second in the same way that you saw the creature shift from one location to another. But maybe you just imagined it. But as all of this happens, you, as Dulcie turns the switches and the spell is uttered, you see that that what was completely transparent transforms in an instant into that look like some kind of gel or gelatin. And the three creatures are encased within it, and they are immovable, but their eyes remain open, and they have that green glow to them that they've had this whole time. And a cry goes up from the others in the room, and the third of the three at this point, well, let's just do this, shall we? The third of the three at this point, it runs, it leaps toward the enclosure, and it kind of hits that gelatinous substance that Devlin felt and falls back. And it reaches up again. It begins to sort of claw at it, and its tentacles come around trying to claw at it.
Can I don't know if we're still in initiative, but can I like open it real quick and then close it real quick to let it in? That's so sad. I could roll sleight of hand to do it quickly if you'd like. Or you could just let me do it, whatever.
Well, what I'm thinking about is the arcane lock.
Dulcie can open it and close it, and the arcane lock will stay.
Right, because you designated.
Yes.
Dulcie was the other person that you designated.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I just designated Dulcie and Ardent and myself. That's it.
Yeah, you can certainly try.
Cool.
Is this you were saying sleight of hand?
Yeah. Just to do it quickly.
Yeah. You're not trying to hide anything here, though, right?
No. Mm-mm.
Yeah. What I'd probably ask then is just a straight dex check rather than sleight of hand.
Straight dex check. Okay. Fine. I'll do that.
Okay.
10.
Yeah. Okay. That's enough.
Okay.
So you, just as it's sort of reaching up, it's got it. In fact, it has its front four sets of paws are up on the gel, and you flip the switches in the way that have learned, and it tumbles in. It sort of tumbles head over heels in. When you flip the switches back, it's still upside down in a ball of murderous fur on the floor of the box. And all four of the creatures now are trapped again in... And we're out of initiative.
It seems to be holding up.
Where's that ginger?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I know. Where is she?
Do you want to look for her?
Yes, immediately. Like, Dulcie has not stopped yet because someone let those things out.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Well, why don't you then? Why don't you make a perception?
24.
Yeah. As you look around the room, and I mentioned those pillars earlier. You see, as you just kind of are looking up from what you've just done, and you see her standing not actually all that far away, back behind. She may have just stepped out from behind one of the pillars. In close to the center of the room, but there she is, just like she was always there, Except she wasn't.
I don't like it. Is anyone else missing?
No. Everyone who was here after Bronwyn ordered the house staff and the guests to leave and cleared the room, everyone is still here. And it's Lady Barrelhelm who speaks first. That was some quick thinking.
Displacement beasts, or displacer beasts. They used to call them. I never thought I'd see one. I was half thinking they were just a legend.
Cithrel says, yes, it was as if they were shifted somehow out of phase. Strange. I've never seen anything quite like it. Idoso, have you?
Not that I can recall, but it was pretty great to kind of feel. To be honest, my hands went straight through it, and yet it was kind of there, but it was also not there, and I really don't know what to make of it. But it definitely leaves a little bit of tingly feels. And he's like excited, like this is the coolest freaking thing like he's seen. This is great.
Kareth, upon hearing that, looks to you, Devlin, and says, extraplanar in origin, perhaps.
That's not it's definitely not from around here.
Definitely not. Kienna, what's happening with Ardent?
I think Ardent kind of cracks their neck, and you just see the wings start to curl back into their back, and you see again that kind of wave of the eyes now closing on each piece of exposed skin, just shutting, all of them shutting down except for the 4 normal ones.
I think Dulcie walks up to Ardent in front of Ardent so that Dulcie's back is to most people. He gets very close to you.
Yeah, okay.
Someone let that thing out. The mechanism was not a simple one.
Must have taken the opportunity with the lights going out.
Well, if the lights going out was a coincidence.
Which I do not think so.
That was, you had a lot more of those.
Ardent kind of looks down, slightly amused, I think. They are always there, just have little less control over when they appear.
Are they all the same color?
I imagine so.
Have you seen all of them? Have you ever, stood naked in front of a mirror and or 2 mirrors so you could see both sides?
The thought hasn't really crossed my mind before.
She turns back around, so they're more side by side now.
Yeah.
Do you have suspicions on who it might be?
Her eyes pass over Cherry. She could have just been hiding, but we could see what everyone else was doing, at least.
Sorry.
No,
I was going to ask, did I hear you talking about this?
We're all all on the same side of the table, but it's very hushed on purpose.
No. If I hear you mention Cherry as sort of like in sort of looking for suspicion, I am going to lean forward. She's a spy. I've got I have a friend around here who's a spy master, and it's trying to place where I thought I'd heard of her before. That's where I'd heard of her. She's believed to possibly be a spy. For whom, I've no idea.
I do have ways of figuring out the truth. I suppose it depends on how good of terms we want to be with our compatriots.
What do? Do you just open all your eyes and stare intensely at a person?
Idoso chortles.
Well, I mean, I'm certainly sure that would help. No, I know of some powers that prevents lying.
Lady Barrelhelm!
The Lady Barrelhelm has found her way back to her very large mug of ale and has filled it from one of the casks against the walls. Yes, Dulcinea.
So, someone in here let those things out on purpose, and Ardent here had a great idea that we should all come together in a circle and, figure this out. Maybe hold hands, sing Kumbaya. If you don't know it, it's an ancient custom from the Feywild I could tell you all about. But, basically we got someone with sticky fingers.
Sticky fingers? I find it hard to believe that anyone in this group of esteemed warriors and sages would do such a thing, and why, Dulcinea? There is no good reason to do so. The whole world is at risk.
Well, I don't know. Maybe you pissed someone off. Did you imprison anyone lately?
No one of consequence. And she takes a long draft from her mug, and she wipes her mouth with the back of her wrist. These things that we've discovered, hoped to show a few of them to you, laid out on the table there. These things have strange properties. We do not understand them well, and many of them seem to act of their own accord from time to time. It is quite possible, given the little that we've seen, that it simply opened somehow.
So why did the lights go out then?
She sighs deeply. Well, I'm sure none of us has anything to hide. And she's eyeing you, Dulcie, as she says it. Perhaps it would not be unwise to get to know one another a little bit better.
Oh, we could play Never Have I Ever. It's also, it's a highly respected and some would say holy custom of the Feywild.
She turns to Kareth. Lore Master, your thoughts? And he pauses for a moment. Devlin, you recognize this as his as what he does when he's about to share something that he doesn't like the thought of. He pauses for a moment. I believe that Dulcinea may have a point. Perhaps we could spend some time. Did you say getting to know one another a bit better before we call it a night? And she nods and makes her way back to her seat at the head table at the center of her hall. And she sits down and looks at you all, and as everyone stands, and she says, "Well, take a seat." And that is where we will end tonight's episode of Strange Invasion. What fun! What fun, and what an unexpected. I should have known that. I should have expected the unexpected with this group. Really, really good. Loved every second of it. Let's hear a little bit from our players. Share with us again who you are, where we can find you. What else are you up to these days? And let's start, Gnome, with you. How did you feel about Idoso's outing with the Displacer
Stellar
beast this
performance,
evening?
I believe, is the term you're looking for. He performed flawlessly.
It was your
As
idea to have us
intended.
herd them. It was
It
like
was.
the whole thing was your idea.
He wasn't gonna hurt a big old mama bear with her baby bear.
They are monstrosities. They are not cats.
Look, can it be pet?
Good point.
Can it be pet?
You
Fair.
know what? Fair. Fair is
Like-
fair.
Like, this kid's seen a bunch of stuff. Like, big old, nasty, monstrosities, sure, whatever you want to call them. But, it's just instinct. It's just instinct, you can't, what's gonna happen? He did great. I don't know what you're talking about. And he's got an artifact, so figure out what that is later, I guess. But my name is Gnome. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram. I am here every Monday. If you want to see more of Lauren, head over to my channel tomorrow for the start of a Tales from the Loop game called Rewind 89. I'm super stoked. We've got a really cool cast. It's just a micro series, only going to be played every Tuesday in May. But I love Tales from the Loop, and I'm always just happy to get more people to play it. What else? Wednesdays is the release of Rise of the Demigods. I'm on that podcast. So if you like the Gods Fall podcast, which, what's up, Allie? How's it going? The worlds are oddly getting more and more connected, and we're growing in our concern, to be honest. Thursdays you can catch me over on Unbait Gaming's channel, where we play a Coriolis game called The Void. And I don't know, what else am I doing? There's probably a billion other things, but just hit me up on Twitter if you ever want chat nerdy.
Awesome. Thanks, Gnome. Jim.
Hey, oh, this was glorious. I really enjoyed I enjoyed that scenario. That was awesome. I'm so pleased that the solution was just actually letting the cats live, the not cats live.
The monstrosities.
The
Monstrosity cats.
yes.
Lawful evil monstrosity
Yes,
cats.
that's
With barbed tentacles. Yes, go on, Jim.
The gloriously evil and the fluffy monstrosities that we managed to trap. That was very cool. That was very cool. Actually found, I wondered when I took Arcane Lock, will I use it? Will I ever use it? And the answer was yes. So that's very encouraging as well.
Yeah.
That was awesome. But let's see. As for me, I'm Jim Ryan. I am Other Doc on both Twitch and Twitter. My website is jimyesthatjim.com, where I have various links to various projects, audio and otherwise, and game signups for when we're running game signups. Over on my channel on tomorrow night, we are starting a short Call of Cthulhu campaign. I'm going to take a stab at it. I've never actually run the base Call of Cthulhu game before, and we're going to give it a try. I'm going to do some Session Zero stuff tomorrow, and then we're going to do like a 3-episode arc after that. On Thursday, we're continuing our short campaign of The Sprawl, which is basically powered by the Apocalypse Cyberpunk. On Friday, I'm going to be over on Encounter Roleplay playing a one-shot of the Spy game, which I'm very much looking forward to. Saturday night, I run Invisible Sun on my channel. On Sundays, we do one-shots. I'm going to do some one-shot or other this coming Sunday. Our schedule's wandering around, so I'm not completely sure what we're going to do, but hopefully one. And then, of course, Sunday night, we have our game of Dark Matter, Ghosts of Saltmaw, Ghosts of Saltmarsh in Space, run by guest GM Alyssa, which is very, very cool. And then, of course, Monday nights, I am here, and I am so pleased that is a thing that I can say.
Yes. So are we, and so am I. Thank you so much, Jim. I will offer my farewells at this point before I pass it back to Salty and Sweet. I'm Allyson Robinson. You can catch me on Twitter at Allyson Robinson with 2 L's and a Y. Follow along with all of the stuff that I've got going on there, most of which is right here on the channel. My favorite thing of all is our Pulp Cthulhu campaign, Masks of Nyarlathotep, that takes place on Saturday mornings, where I play Ganymede Graves, adventure scientist, and that's all I've ever wanted to be in my life, is an adventure scientist. So I'm super excited about that. I got 2 other things to say before we go. Number 1, this is my first time in the DM seat in a long time, and definitely my first time DMing Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition live before a Twitch audience. And I hope that if you watch this live, or if you're watching it later on YouTube, you will be encouraged by the fact that you do not have to have all the rules memorized, and you don't have to do it perfectly to come out here and do this and do it on stream and have all kinds of fun. I'm able to do that because I know these people are my friends and care about me, and I know all of you are, and I just had a blast doing it. So if you've ever wanted to do it, do it. That's number 1. Thing number 2, if you're watching this live, today is Star Wars Day. It is May the 4th. So happy Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you. Ben Solo is alive. Peace out.
I'm so angry at you right now.
Should we do personal stuff, Laura?
Sure.
I can't.
Yeah. I can't.
Do you want me to go first?
No, I will go first. Hello,
Okay.
I'm Lauren. I'm the salty of this channel. I am that salty ginger on Twitter. I loved tonight. I loved just especially how we all worked together, because we literally couldn't have done it if one of us had been not part of the team. It was awesome. You can find me here. You can obviously find me on the weekends here on Nomadic's channel tomorrow for Tales from the Loop. I'm so excited. I'm gonna beat up Paul. And you can also find me running Urban Shadows on the Scraticus Academy and playing a Cypher System game on Off the Table, as well as a super cool Barovia campaign coming up real soon. That's all my personal stuff. Key?
Yeah. And I am Kienna. I'm the sweet of the channel. You can find me over on Twitter at KiennaS, best way to figure out what I'm doing. Or not here on the channel. I'm mostly just here on the channel. A couple things that I'm doing. I am on WebDM on Tuesday doing Symbol Room. I am also on Gilding Light on Fridays now doing a Cypher System game. Super awesome. And another thing I want to announce is that if you ever want to play with me as the GM for Bluebeard Pride, I am one of the GMs for the official Magpie Games curated play program. So I am running a few one-shots of Bluebeard Pride in this month on Wednesdays. So you can go check out the Magpie site or their Twitter account and you can register to play with me. I think the tickets are going out really fast actually, and it kind of freaks me out a little bit. So definitely go check that out so you can support Magpie Games, which is an awesome group making awesome games, and also get to play stuff with me. That's our personal stuff. We end with channel stuff.
Yeah, channel stuff.
First of all, we want to give another shout out to our wonderful sponsor, Roll20. We are part of their Spotlight program. They are wonderful people doing wonderful things, bringing gamers together across whatever distance through our favorite virtual tabletop of choice. So please go check them out, go give them some love, and check out the other Roll20 Spotlight people. Of course, if you ever miss an episode or you want to rewatch one, we've got a YouTube channel. We're slowly climbing to 100 subs there. So please help us get a custom URL, because it drives me nuts that we have this long string of gibberish. Please help us, please. I upload our long-running series on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, so you can always go there and check out what we have going on, and I'll upload any other day for whatever other stuff we're doing. Speaking of other stuff we do, make sure to follow us on Twitter and here on Twitch. It's the best way to find out when we go live. We tweet out when we go live for our regular shows. We also do announcements for when we do one-shots or video games or whatever else we feel like tweeting about. So definitely the best way to keep up with us there. Of course, thank you everyone for supporting us, whether it's through our Redbubble for merch or whether it's through subs or donations or all that stuff. Everything goes to keeping the channel lights on so we can keep bringing awesome content like this to you. So big thank you to all of you who have been wonderful for supporting us over the past we've basically been running for 4 months now, which is wild. So it's been really great. We're basically comped on all of our shows at this point, which is that's amazing. So thank you everyone, and of course any extra stuff goes towards our cast when we get that all collected together. So you help everyone here on the channel. It's awesome. I think that's it for us tonight. We are going to go raid our friends at Laugh Love Lindy. So if you have the hype emote from a sub, please make sure to stay in chat and spam that hype when we go raid. Otherwise, if you don't, make sure to spam some hearts, some love from us at Salt Speak Games. And we will be back here on the channel on Saturday for Masks of My Last Tale. I think that's it.
Yeah. Okay, wave bye everybody. Goodbye. Goodbye.